Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Vader 400, and of course, the brown skinned human. Come back at you with another video. And this time, this is the intro to multiple videos. This is my intro to various manga, anime, and video game tie-in franchise reviews and reviews is what this video is. The first several animes I'm going to start off with are Yu Yu Hakusho, Naruto, Bleach, Sailor Moon, Power Stone, Power Stone, Dragon Quest, My Heroes Academia, and One Punch Man, followed by several more. Once again, trying to save disk space on my hard drive, so I'm recording one intro for multiple videos. Most of the two songs that will be used are Sonic Weekend and the Sonic Heroes songs. They will be used interchangeably. Sometimes the Sonic Heroes theme some will be the intro, and in some videos it will be the outro. Whereas the second intro song, of course, is Weekend, with sometimes Weekend also being the outro, and just changing it up. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video right here. So, with that being said, let me finish and let me continue before I get started with the intro. The manga portions will be webcam to avoid copyrights, and certain parts, especially for franchises that are long, like the Dragon Ball one. Yeah, I forgot that's gonna be one too. Like the Dragon Ball one, some parts will be purely webcam because of how long the Dragon Ball franchise is. So, with that being said, let's get started right now. I wish I could go faster. We can do whatever we want because we're the heroes of this channel. Hey everybody, it's time for part of my um part two of my long Yu Yu Hakusho franchise review. And this time, As you can see by the title above, this webcam portion is my review of the Yu Yu Hakusho manga. When this video is completed, I will transition to the audio narration portion for my anime and Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament video game based reviews. But this right here is the manga of Yu Yu Hakusho. The Yu Yu Hakusho manga. I first discovered the Yu Yu Hakusho manga in about 2007. I used to shop at a comic book store called Comico where I purchased a bunch of Marvel and DC comics and also purchased a couple of mangas, and those mangas were Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, Inuyasha, and Astro Boy. Astro Boy. I purchased several of the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament mangas, and as always, up until 2005 and 6, I had no idea Yu Yu Hakusho was an anime. Was a manga. I saw the anime for the first time in late 2002 and early 2003, and been a huge fan ever since. I mentioned I stopped following Yu Yu Hakusho around 2004 and 5 when we got to the what arcs were those? Oh yeah, the Chapter Black arc, and briefly got back into it in late 2005 when I really started getting back into anime, and that's where I finished the Demon Tournament arc, which was okay. But yeah, the Yu Yu Hakusho manga. First of all, the Yu Yu Hakusho manga is way better than its anime. Way faster when it comes to pacing. Even though one thing, I'm gonna talk about this when I get to things I don't like. It's way faster, better pacing, more graphic. The Yu Yu Hakusho manga, in contrast to its anime, the manga feels more like a Japanese supernatural movie epic. It's more graphic and violent. The characters, particularly Yusuke, Hiei, Yusuke, Hiei, and even Karama have edgier personalities, edgier and darker personalities than their anime-based counterparts. Hiei in the beginning, before he transed over to the side of good, and even after he transed over to the side of good, was straight up ruthless. Even saying that as soon as his partnership with Karama and Goki was over, he was gonna straight up kill Karama and Goki. I'm surprised even Karama, who Hiei said himself later, he brought Karama to his side. He brought Karama to his side to avoid fighting Karama himself. And when Karama when Karama sacrificed himself for Yusuke by getting in the way of Hiei's sword, and throwing the blood in Hiei's eyes. Hiei was like, I'll kill you. So Hiei's a more edgier character. Then another moment during the Team Ichigaki fights, when they were interrogating Team Ichigaki's demon teammates on the whereabouts of Team Ichigaki, this Ren Kai, and I keep forgetting the last one. En Kai, and Ryo's whereabouts of their master in the manga. They just beat him to death. Until he told him where it was. In the anime, they just beat him to death and told him until they told him where the master was. In the manga, they not only did that, but Hiei, even after Karama promised that the guy would not be killed if he cooperated, Hiei supposedly chopped him into pieces anyway. So like I said, the manga is way more graphic, and it differs in a lot of areas, such as a couple of characters in the anime are presented in different forms, and one character from the anime is not in the manga at all. As always, let's get to the storyline. Before we get to things I didn't like, let's talk about the storyline. The anime, the manga follows the same story as the anime. Yu Yu Hakusho, a 14-year-old delinquent kid, one day while skipping class, sees a kid playing with the ball in the street, and sees a car. Well, at first he saves the kid. He saves the kid's he saves the kid's life and tells him, "Don't play with the ball in the street. Don't play with the ball in the street." The kid accidentally knocks the ball in the street again, and this time Yusuke sees the car speeding for the kid and pushes the kid out the way and gets hit. And gets hit by the car and killed immediately. He reawakens as a ghost. He reawakens as a ghost, and is then after recollecting his thoughts, eventually figures out that he is now dead, and this is where he meets the Grim Reaper, Botan, who wants to take him back to spirit world. Because Yusuke's act was selfless, and they haven't prepared a place for him in spirit world, and that the car would have completely would completely turned over, not harming the kid at all. So Yusuke sacrificed himself for really nothing. They Botan gives Yusuke gives for a chance for an ordeal to give his life back. Yusuke at first, up until he attends his wake, doesn't want to come back until he sees Kuwabara, Mr. Tanaka, his mother, and Keiko all sobbing and sad at the loss of Yusuke Urameshi, and then he decides to go along with his ordeal to get his life back. And here he meets Kawimba. I was gonna save this for later, but this is one of the parts I didn't like about the manga versus the anime. In the anime, he has 4 adventures before he gets his life back. Here in the manga, he has multiple. I remember skipping when I reread the manga for this review right here. I remember skipping all of that and getting on to the Goki Hiei Karama the spirit detective plot where they steal the artifacts, and Yusuke has to defeat those 3 and recover those. Getting to that arc, one of my favorite arcs in the series. But he goes through a bunch of ordeals, which I didn't like before he finally gets his life back, when Keiko prevents him from being cremated and kisses him before midnight. Thus, Yusuke gets his life back. He immediately returns to life. He saved Kuwabara's kitten from being harmed by a demon possessed human, and then in episodes then I mean not episode 6, but then in my I keep forgetting what chapter this was, but finally the spirit detective arc where the characters Hiei Karama introduced, and this is the arc where Hiei Karama and the demon monkey Goki steal several 3 artifacts: the sword, the orb of Baz, the orb of Baz, the forlorn hope mirror, and I keep getting the eye sword, whatever. I keep getting what the sword is called, but it's a sword that whatever it will make a demon out of whatever it cuts or slices, whatever it cuts or slices. So yeah, this was the Yu Yu Hawk. This is where the show really picked up. We have our very first battle. And like I said, love the action. The action in the manga is even better than that in the anime. Even though the anime, of course, has more fight choreography and moving frames, but the action scenes the action scenes are way better paced and drawn in the manga than they are in animation. So yeah, then we have our very first battle. One of my favorites, Yusuke versus Goki Manki. Um, a demon who eats souls and utilizes the forlorn mirror to relieve people of their souls, so he can eat souls faster instead of killing them with his demon form. After Yusuke punches him, he transforms into his ultra powerful demon form. I love Gokimanki, even though he was demon class. He was pretty much the Raditz and Nappa of this series. An early overall major antagonist, but is quickly overpaid, um but it's quickly outclassed by more powerful demons later on. But that first awesome Antagonist was Goki Monkey, downright scary, especially in the Funimation voice with that monster tough guy voice, monster tough guy voice, and and Goki Monkey is also the first to actually one of the first people to actually beat Yusuke in a fight. To beat Yusuke in a fight, Yusuke is saved by the timely arrival of Botan, who is posing as a spirit detective authorities, police, and Goku then warns Yusuke to stay away from him. Yusuke, after recovering at his house, prepares to fight Goki one more time in the same place, and this time, after a hard-fought battle, he puts a log in Goki's mouth and hits his spirit gun, severely injuring Goki. It's revealed that Goki was arrested after that, and I think executed later by Karama. Executed later when Karama revealed that all the D-class demons were executed. So yeah, then the next one he meets and befriends Karama. He meets and befriends Karama and agrees to help Karama use the mirror to save his mother's life. Both of them try to offer up their lives in exchange, and the mirror decides to spare both of them because of their courageous act, and Yusuke gains Kurama as an ally. The final one is the most powerful demon, and that's Hiei, who has the sword. And also, Yusuke has to recover these artifacts before Koenba's father returns home. Emma returns home, and sorry about that. Returns home and returns home and not only spanks Koenba, but also goes on a rampage through all of Earth and Spirit World to find him. So he has to fight Hiei. He has to fight Hiei. After a hard fought battle with the help of Karama, Yusuke is able to defeat Hiei by shooting a spirit gun at the mirror, which bounces off the mirror and hits Hiei in the back. Incapacitating Hiei. And Yusuke has successfully recovered all items, but Koenba's dad, Emma, notices the mirror has a crack on it and the sword has blood on it, which indicates that they've both been used. And it's spanked anyway. The next arc, Yusuke, this is Kuwabara's first mission. Yusuke and Kuwabara fight in a world martial arts tournament hosted by the hermit and psychic Genkai. Yusuke has to compete in the tournament, win the tournament before a demon named Rando, who entered the tournament under disguise, wins the tournament and learns Genkai's secret, who Genkai wants to pass on her knowledge to, regardless of who is good or evil. There are several fighters. There's Yusuke. Besides Kuwabara and Yusuke, there was Yusuke, Kuwabara, Kabano, Kazamaru, Kuroda, Chimpo, the most hilarious member, Chimpo, Shorin, and of course Shorin and Musashi the samurai. Kuwabara defeats Musashi. Kazamaru kills Kuroda. Shorin defeats and presumably kills Chimpo. Yusuke defeats Kabano and Kazamaru, and Shorin reveals that he was Rando, the demon Rando, and after his human form, Shorin is defeated by Kuwabara. He does some kind of jutsu or power which transforms Kuwabara into which shrinks Kuwabara and turns him into a giant and grabs Kuwabara and tears apart his bones, rips apart his body, breaking his bones, and Yusuke then beats the living daylights and brutally murders Rando's human form with Shorin, and Shorin then transforms to the form of Rando and easily defeats Yusuke, who used all of his energy fighting Kabano and Kazamaru and Shorin just moments prior, and then Rando prepares to kill Yusuke by putting him in wrapping him up in the wrapping him up in the wrapping him up in a cocoon, then throwing him in the water and having him being eaten alive by a hate fisher. One of the creepier moments in the show, and I mean creepier moments in the manga and show. And Kuwabara lends his soul to Yusuke, motivating him to fight. And Yusuke breaks out. Yusuke breaks out and eventually defeats Rando when Rando's own jutsu backfires on him. Rando prepares to use the shrinking jutsu again, but Yusuke, doesn't hear it. Thus, Rando instead turns back into shrinks instead. Yusuke falls over him and defeats him, and that's how he's captured. Then the story really gets good. This is the first appearance of the Spirit Detective team: Yusuke, Kuwabara, Hiei Karama, Botan, and Keiko. This is the first appearance of the Spirit Detective team, the first team up of Yusuke, Kuwabara, Karama, and Hiei, as they have to stop the four Saint Beasts who demand entry in the spirit world, who demand into the human world, or they will infect the entire human race with the Makai insects, which they do anyway. The only way to reverse the effects of these insects that affect children and depressed and angry people, is to get to the top of the four Saint Beast tower, defeat all four Saint Beasts, and destroy the whistle. At first it's just Yusuke and Kuwabara. At first it's just Yusuke, but Kuwabara wants to tag along, and then Hiei and Karama are instructed by Koenma to aid Yusuke and Kuwabara if they want to wipe their slates clean in spirit world and they have their records expunged. After when they prepare to enter the tower, they first have to survive the gate of betrayal. A giant door, a giant rocky door comes down to crush them, and they're only barely able to hold it up because of their spirit energy. However, the eyeball thing only reminds them only the traitor amongst them, the selfish person, can survive. Since Hiei is the fast from the two, Yusuke and the others lend their spirit energy to Hiei, so Hiei can get out. And pull the lever and save each of them. Hiei first pretends not to help them, and betray them, only to learn that the boulder would have crushed him anyway, which Hiei used that to move and slice the eyeball, and Hiei then dodges the boulder, uses his speed to dodge the boulder, and rescues Karama and the gang, saying that he didn't do this to save them, but he did this because he needs their power, especially Yusuke's, to defeat the leader, Zazaku. So yeah, then they get to their first battle. They fight the warrior Genbu. Kurama fights and defeats Genbu after a hard-fought battle. Then Kuwabara, after two hard-fought battles, defeats Byakuya. Then Hiei easily, and this is one of the other biggest differences between the manga and anime. Hiei easily, with just one good strikes, easily kills Seiryu. Seiryu, the ice dragon demon. And Yusuke, after three hard fought battles, 3 hard rounds, sacrificing himself in the process, building up all his energy and unleashing onto Zazaku and his bird, kills and defeats Zazaku, destroying the whistle, the bird, and everything, and freeing everyone and saving the world once again. Kuwabara lends Yusuke some of his spirit energy, and everything goes back to normal. Then the storyline really gets good in the next arc, the Spirit Detective arc, where Yusuke and Kuwabara and Botan have to save the ice apparition Yukina from the ruthless crime boss Tarukane, who is guarded by the famous Toguro Toguro brothers and Hiei and Kurama are barred from participating in this mission because under no circumstances are demons allowed to kill humans no matter what the circumstances are, even if the humans are evil. Even if the humans are evil. Toguro throws the fight with Yusuke and Kuwabara to win so Sakio, one of the betting men, can win to Tarukane's fortune. And then Toguro kills Tarukane himself. Then we get to the best arc of the series, the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho, the Dark Tournament arc, where Yu Yu Hakusho team enter a demon Mortal Kombat and King of Fighters tag team style of tournament to win to to protect Earth from to protect Earth from being invaded by the demon world, by spirit world, which Sakio, one of the main antagonists and one of the organizers of the tournament, wants to open a portal from the demon world to the quote unquote human world. And this arc, there's so many battles to talk about. Yusuke, it's like we meet a lot of cool characters Toya Jin, Bakken, and Gamma of the of Team Ratio, Zero, Roto, Rinku, and Chu. Renko, the suckiest one of Team Chu. Two with Chu being the most powerful, and Chu and Yusuke being one of the better fights in the franchise. And then Team Shishiwaku, where we meet Shishiwaku, Suzuki, the two greatest members, Makintaro and Komurota, and Uraharashima, the worst member of the group. Then Ryo, In, and Kai of Team Ichigaki's team, and then finally the biggest boss battle, some of the greatest fights ever in manga and anime history. We meet the team of Toguro with Toguro. The final fight with Yusuke fighting Toguro younger, Hiei fighting the armored warrior Bui, who is more powerful without the armor, capable of energy attacks and levitation, and the only surviving member of Team Toguro. Karusu, the only Toguro to actually win a match, and the first character to die but still win his match, where he fights in a brutal battle with Kurama and Yoko Kurama. And finally Kuwabara's fight with the elder Toguro, where he learns that Genkai died in this arc. This was the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho. Like I said, after this I stopped following Yu Yu Hakusho because the second two arcs, which were okay, the second 2 to 3 arcs, which were okay, didn't live up to this one. I'm still reading these arcs right here. These arcs, the chapter Black, and I'm still reading the chapter Black arc right now. The chapter Black Three Kings saga and the Demon World Tournament arc to see how their manga counterparts was. I really love that ending that I heard about. That it has Yusuke, Kuwabara, Hiei, and Kurama preparing to enter another demon tournament. That's how this manga ends. There will be a webcam. There will be a audio narration review with pictures of the mangas and individual saga reviews, and I'm even thinking about doing a cool narration, of audio narration of the entire comic book. Well, that's it for the Yu Yu Hakusho manga manga review. Oh no, I'm not finished. Now things I didn't like about the manga. Let's go back to things I didn't like. I mentioned earlier the Spirit Detective. The Spirit Detective saga is much longer in the manga, with Yusuke having to go through multiple ordeals to get his life back. Life back. The manga doesn't feature the ogre character, Koenba's assistant Jorge Satomi. He's not seen in the manga, and because of that, the manga loses a lot of humor. The manga uses a lot of humor. Speaking of humor, the best form of Yu Yu Hakusho, believe it or not, is the Funimation English dub. The dialogue in the manga, especially this fan translated one I read, was absolutely terrible and inferior to the superior dialogue of its Funimation um of his Funimation and Japanese anime counterparts counterparts. That's the other thing. The other thing that's one of the other things I didn't like about the manga, and 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 yeah. So yeah. Um, One other thing, this is not a flaw in the manga, but one thing I forgot, going back to the edgier personalities, I mentioned the edgier personalities. Yusuke, Yusuke Urameshi smokes and gambles in the manga, which is something you don't see in the anime. Then the character Azuko, Azuko Urameshi, Yusuke's mother, she is featured more in the manga than she's featured in the anime. In the anime, in the manga, she attends the dark tournament like you see in the intro of the anime. But in the actual dark tournament, she doesn't attend with Shizuru Kuwabara's sister taking her place instead. Um, what else? What else show? What else show? What else? What else are differences? Oh yeah, the costumes. Their costumes in the um in the in the other in the Genkai tournament arc, Kuwabara wears a baseball jersey, some jeans and sneakers, some jeans and sneakers instead of his schoolboy outfit. You see his uniform. You see in the anime. Also, Botan wears a different set of clothes. Wears a different has a different more casual look in contrast to her flamboyant street look in the Four Saint V saga. And yeah, there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of differences like that in the manga, but the manga is still like the best form, even though when it comes to dialogue and voice acting, obviously the Funimation version is the best. Is the best version. Even Yoshihiro Tagashi prefers that version over the Japanese version. The creator of Yu Yu Hakusho, but yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, one of the greatest manga and anime franchises of all time. Now it's time for its anime counterpart. Hey everyone, it's time for part two of my long Yu Yu Hakusho franchise review, and this time I'm reviewing the Yu Yu Hakusho anime. Like I said in part one, I think the manga was way better than the anime, but the anime is where I got my start with Yu Yu Hakusho, and the anime does two things better than its manga counterpart. The first thing is comedy. The character of Ogre, who in Japanese is named Jorge Satomi, Kawimba's assistant, he isn't featured at all in the manga. There are various characters who resemble him featured in the manga, but he is not seen in the manga at all. He is, however, featured more predominantly in the anime and is the anime's narrator as revealed in one episode. However, Jorge Satomi, um, him and Kawimba arguing, going back and forth, they are able to relieve the tension and creepiness and drama with their humor. The manga loses out on a lot of humor due to the fact that Jorge Satomi is not a featured character in that manga. So that's the first thing the anime does better. The second thing the anime does better is filler and extra fight scenes, which sometimes can be a bad thing because some fight scenes can drag out longer than they're supposed to be. But sometimes it's a good thing in the case of And during the Dark Tournament saga, during intermission, Yusuke is attacked by a Mad Max football rugby looking demon who calls himself the appropriately named rugby, like the sport, and he is who tries to kill Yusuke while Yusuke is incapacitated. Well, while Yusuke is drained and can't use his spirit gun, and this demon is killed by his own teammate named Topaz, who wanted to meet Yusuke in the finals, but that doesn't happen because him and his team get destroyed by Toguro. Um, yeah, other things they do better is of course voice acting and music. It's love reading the manga, but it is cool to listen to the voices and listen to the awesome Yu Yu Hakusho OTS um with um um which accompanies the action the action and the scenes in the series. So yeah, um these are the pros of the anime. Like I said in part one, the manga feels like a martial arts, supernatural horror comedy film epic, whereas this feels more like both a Saturday morning and adult martial arts, supernatural horror comedy anime and cartoon epic epic. It feels like both of those because this cartoon was featured on both Cartoon Network's Toonami and Adult Swim. I first saw Yu Yu Hakusho in the early 2000s, late 2002 and early 2003. I first saw it in 2002 during the Saint Beast, during the Forest Saint Beast saga. The episode where Kuwabara fights Byakuya is the first episode of Yu Yu Hakusho I saw. Then I watched the rest of the rest of the season where the show started over in early 2003. I watched the show from the beginning, from episode 1 all the way to the final episode where Yusuke defeats the last Saint Beast, Suzaku, and saves Spirit World from the Makai insects and the four Saint Beasts. Um, then I got to watch the rest of the Spirit Detective saga and Dark Tournament saga when Yu Yu Hakusho left Adult Swim and premiered on Cartoon Network's Toonami Action Block. After the Dark Tournament saga, which I consider that to be the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho, that to be the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho, I started tuning out Yu Yu Hakusho and I stopped following it for a while up until late 2005 when I started getting back into it. Because the show, while the writing improved, the show had just become stale, and you weren't topping the Dark Tournament saga, which that was the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho. That was the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho. Like I said, I stopped following it, but I did see the end. I did see the end when Yu Yu Hakusho finished his run on Cartoon Network, and then yeah. So yeah, that's Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm gonna talk about the storyline. The the storyline, cast of characters, the Funimation voice acting, dub, and what I liked and didn't like about this anime. Then I'm gonna transition into the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament video game, which will end this long video series. So with that being said, let's start the episode right now. Um, um, So yeah, the story of Yu Yu Hakusho follows a 14-year-old delinquent kid named Yusuke Urameshi who is a like I said is a delinquent kid who regularly skips class and gets into fights. One of the people he gets into fights with the most and defeats is the character of Kazuma Kuwabara, who he's defeated 100 plus times. He has very few friends and supporters, with his only supporters being Kuwabara, his alcoholic mother Asuka Urameshi, and of course, his childhood friend, female Keiko Yukimura, who is top of their class at Sarayashi Junior High, and of course, Mr. Tanaka, the head teacher at the school, the principal and head teacher at the school. Um, Yusuke on one certain day, um, while skipping class after beating up Kuwabara, he sees a kid playing with the ball and warns the kid not to play in the street with the ball and makes funny faces entertaining the kid. The kid accidentally runs into the street again with the ball, and Yusuke sees a car heading for the kid and pushes the kid out the way, and in the process ends up sacrificing his life to save the kid, where he is hit by the car and killed immediately and reawakens as a ghost. Yusuke Urameshi. Eventually figures out that he is dead, where the Grim Reaper Botan appears, appears, and after taking Yusuke to his wake, Botan offers Yusuke a chance to come back to life. Yusuke at first refuses until he goes to his wake and sees that Keiko, Kuwabara, his mother, and Mr. Tanaka actually do care for him, and then decide to go through a potential ordeal to get his life back. It is here where Botan sends Yusuke to Koimba's place, whom Yusuke mocks and insults for being a toddler with a pacifier in his mouth. Koimba gives Yusuke an ordeal to tells him the ordeal to get his life back is to pass several tests. He then gives him an egg, which depends on his deeds. If he does good deeds and is a good person, the what hatches from the egg will be beautiful. If he is wicked and bad, what hatches from the egg will be a cruel and terrible monster that will eat Yusuke's soul, and Yusuke will be permanently dead and won't exist as anything. So Yusuke then what else happens after that? Oh yeah, Yusuke's Yusuke his first test is to convince Kuwabara and later Keiko not to burn or cremate his body, so he has a body to return to. He then helps Kuwabara stay out of trouble and score more than 50 points on a test to help Kuwabara's friends Asuko prevent him from losing his job. Then in episode 3, he helps Keiko and Kuwabara retrieve his body from a burning building, and then in episode 4, the funniest moment, he tries to convince Kuwabara and fails to kiss him, then successfully convinces Keiko to kiss him, bringing him back to life, and he returns to life and goes back to his daily life. In episode 6, where the series officially picks up, he becomes Spirit World's brand new spirit detective, where he investigates and saves the world from various supernatural threats. With in the first arc, he defeats the three demons Goki, Karama, and Hiei, who all three steal three powerful artifacts: the Forlorn Hope Mirror, the Orb of Souls, and a mysterious eye sword from the spiritual spirit from the spirit vault. Then the second season, this is Kuwabara's first mission. He is then aided by Kuwabara as they compete in a tournament hosted by the ancient psychic, mystic, and hermit Genkai, to prevent a demon Rando, in who's also entered the tournament in disguise and wants to learn Genkai's techniques. Genkai's techniques. Yusuke and the group narrowly defeat everyone there, wins the tournament, and saves the world from which Khan undergoes training from Gengai, where he learns the shotgun to accompany his spirit gun, which he acquired through his through him crossing over into the to the spirit realm. So next, Then we got the four Saint Beasts, where this is where the entire Spirit Detective team debuts. Yusuke and Kuwabara and Botan have to save the world from the four Saint Beasts who demand entry into the human world, and they do this by sending a bunch of insects that a bunch of insects called the Makai insects that infect um people. It's up to Yusuke, Kuwabara, Karama, and Hiei, who have both agreed to participate in a mission to expunge their criminal records in Spirit World, and they the four enter Maze Castle and defeat all the Saint Beasts there: Genbu, Byaku, Seiryu, and the greatest and final one, Suzaku, my favorite Saint Beast and one of my favorite villains and characters in the show. And then story gets more interesting in the next arc where they have to rescue, where Yusuke and Kuwabara have to rescue an ice apparition named Yukina for the ruthless crime boss Tarukane, and the human turned demon Taguru brothers, and the mysterious crime boss Sakio. Kuwabara and Yusuke narrowly defeat Taguru, and and it's turned out that Taguru threw the fight so Sakio could acquire Tarukane's fortune, and in the next arc he could invite Yusuke and his team to participate in the ruthless Dark Tournament, where they faced a bunch of teams to defend the realm of Earth from various demons, and they meet various other characters in the series, like Team Masho with Jin Toya, Team Yorota with Team Suzuki and Shishiwasku, um, Team Chu, where they meet Chu himself, Ren, and last but not least, they fight Team Toguru, where they fight Toguru Younger himself, Toguru Elder, and my other favorite members besides Toguru Younger, Karusu, and the Armored Warrior Bui. So those are those are what happens. And like I said, this was the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho. The storyline continues in the chapter Black Saga, which I like to call X-Men with demons, where they fight other spirit detectives and psychics, and a former spirit detective himself, the character Sensui, who becomes the first villain to kill Yusuke. Then the final arc revolves around the Yusuke, Karama, and Hiei participating in a new demon tournament to decide who rules Spirit World, who becomes the new emperor of Spirit World. So that's the Yu Yu Hakusho. So that's the plot of Yu Yu Hakusho. Like I said, part one. My favorite characters are Yusuke, Urameshi, Hiei, Karama, Yoko Karama, who's way cooler. Yoko Karama, team team Taguru with Taguru Younger, Karusu, who is a guy with a tight trench coat and business suit, trench coat with a tight trench coat, jumpsuit attire, and a very cool ninja mask who has cool exploding bombs, and the armored warrior Bowie. The armored warrior Bowie. These are two of the coolest antagonists, three of the coolest antagonists of all time, and these guys were the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho. Then you got Jin and Toya of you got Jin of Team Marshall, the Windmaster. Then you got his partner and friend Toya, the Ice Apparition, the other Ice Apparition, and then you got Team Yorota with Team Suzuki and Team Shishiwasku, Makintaro, and I keep forgetting the other guy's name. Then you got Team Team Chu with Team Chu with Chu himself, a Fist of the North Star punk rocker looking villain. Then you got then you got Zero. Then you got Zero, another fire and flame apparition, and of course Roto. Roto, a guy with a cool demon swipe maneuver, and a demon brother who was gonna kill Karama's mother. And um what else? Oh yeah. Then of course Team Ichigaki. Team Ichigaki, which consists of Ren, the characters Ren, Kai, and what was the third guy's name? I'm on Wikipedia right now. Rio. Um, Rio. Rio. That's his name. And of course, I mentioned Suzaku of the Saint Beast, who has the Naruto Shadow Clone Jutsu and an orange Chidori. And this show was before Naruto. So that's where those moves originate from. Then of course, even though he was D class, the very first antagonist of Yu Yu Hakusho, I consider him the Raditz and Nappa of Yu Yu Hakusho. Goki, the Gokimon Key demon ninja. Demon who eats souls. And then of course, last but not least, you got Sensui. Sensui, who's the lamest Yu Yu Hakusho villain, but he's the first villain to actually kill and defeat Yusuke. So, yeah, those are the characters. You got a phenomenal cast of characters with different abilities and awesome backstories and personalities. So, yeah, and um, yeah, like I've said in the manga portion of this video, while Yu Yu Hakusho is not the best anime, it's number one because this anime is no other anime has captured my imagination with its characters and storyline like Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho, and it's like I said, it's one of the coolest animes around. Not the best, but one of the coolest, the most exciting, the most creepiest, and the most entertaining. I'm so happy I got to watch it again twice for this review right here, which I've been planning for a long time. Oh, things I um things I don't like about Yu Yu Hakusho. The first thing I don't like about Yu Yu Hakusho was the Spirit Detective saga and the Dark Tournament sagas were the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho, with the Dark Tournament saga being the peak of Yu Yu Hakusho. The Chapter Black saga, while well written, creative, the saga itself was boring, and this is where I started tuning out the Yu Yu Hakusho, this Yu Yu Hakusho show, and even IGN commented on this. One of the next thing I didn't like about Yu Yu Hakusho was was especially in the Chapter Black saga trying to forcibly induce sympathy from the audience for the villains, especially it was even worse during the Chapter Black arc. Then the third thing I didn't like about the series is plot holes and inconsistencies with the series. When Yusuke dies and comes back to life, his life when he comes back is pretty much the same as it was before he died. Died. If Yusuke were to die and come back to life in real life, he would not have a normal life. He would probably be jailed for fraud, killed again for witchcraft, or something else. But he would have a normal life. But when he comes back to life, everybody goes back to their daily lives. They don't wonder or worry or panic that this human who you saw die just come back to life. to come back to life. So that's that's one of the biggest problems I had with Yu Yu Hakusho. Modern animes that were inspired by Yu Yu Hakusho would improve upon this. Would improve upon this. So yeah. The fourth problem I would have with Yu Yu Hakusho is wasted characters. Characters like characters like Bowie, Jin, Toya, Chu, Suzaku. They were seen again in the anime, but they all had small roles. You could have done more. The character of Bowie, one of the most wasted after his fight with Hiei, despite being the only surviving member of Team Toguro, was never seen again, and never seen again. So yeah, these are the things I didn't like about Yu Yu Hakusho. Now let's go back to what I did like about Yu Yu Hakusho. I mentioned the music being one of the best things about the anime. I love the Cherry Bomb intro theme. That's the name of the intro theme. I think that's the name of it. Then I love the the first outro theme. The other two are okay, but the first one is the best and most iconic. The Tick Tock Tick song, which is called "Do the Homework," and what else did I like? Oh yeah, favorite fights in this series. My favorite fights in this series are Team Urameshi, Yusuke Karama, Yoko Karama, Hiei, and Kuwabara versus Team Toguro with with Hiei's fight with Hiei and Karama's fights with Bui and Karusu being the best, followed by Yusuke and Kuwabara's fight was with both Toguro Younger and Toguro Elder, with Kuwabara's win and fight over Toguro Elder being Kuwabara's shining best moment and best fight in the series series. Yeah, other favorite fights is Yusuke's very first real battle with the Goki, the demon who eats souls. Then his fight with Hiei when Hiei was a bad guy. Then Yusuke's fight with his arch nemesis and polar opposite is Suzaku. Love the Yusuke Suzaku Toguro, and later Sensui rivalry with Yusuke's death after Yusuke's death, Karama and Hiei and Kuwabara's and Yoko Karama's three-man fight against Sensui, where Sensui swatted and beat all of them. Karama, Hiei, and Kuwabara fighting at their most powerful forms and weapons. You have Karama with Yoko Karama as Yoko Karama, Hiei with the biggest with two black dragons, with two black dragons. Then you got two Black Dragon of the Flames. Then you got Kuwabara with the Spirit Dimension Sword, all attacking, Sensui. Then Yusuke being resurrected as the demon rising and taking the battle to Sensui and eventually ended up killing him. And um and Karama versus Toya and Gama, and Karama versus Toya and Gama, and Genkai versus Suzuki are my all-time favorite fights in Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the best animes ever when it comes to not only story and character development, but action. Action, man. Yeah, and a lot of the cool action here will be replicated in modern animes. Yeah, let's talk about the Funimation actors. If you see my Dragon Ball rants, you would know I do not like the Funimation versions of Dragon Ball Z. But when it comes to Yu Yu Hakusho, it is opposite. It is a topsy turvy world. It is opposite day because those Funimation actors who are terrible and bland in Dragon Ball Z are phenomenal here. Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the many dubs is one of the mini dubs, is one of the few and mini dubs that I consider to be better than its Japanese counterpart. Its Japanese counterpart is more closer to the manga, but the the English version, acted wise, when it comes to dialogue, action, drama, and humor, is so much better than its Japanese counterpart. So, yeah, this was my anime review of Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho was so popular, it inspired a beat 'em up game called Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament based upon the Dark Tournament storyline. That video game is next. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, it's now time for the final part of my Yu Yu Hakusho franchise review, and this time I'm reviewing the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament video game, which I purchased in late 2005, right around the time Yu Yu Hakusho's popularity was starting to go down. Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament. Um, I like the video game. I like the video game and all, but I consider this one of the weakest video games I've ever played. The critical reception is average to mixed. This video game right here is a fighting game. It is a stiff it is a stiff hybrid of it is a stiff, crappy, weak hybrid of Street Fighter, Tekken, Virtua Fighter, and of course the Dragon Ball Z Budokai series. But despite all those problems, I I like I still like this video game because I like bringing the Yu Yu Hakusho action home. I'm playing a game right now. I'm I'm playing as in and I think I'm fighting either Kai or Ryo. I always get those two characters confused of Doctor Ichigaki's team. Anyway, yeah, the video, like I said, the video game plays just like those four video games I just mentioned. This video game has since it's based on the Dark Tournament storyline, it has just about every character from the Dark Tournament storyline, with it excluding I think two. It has Yusuke, Kuwabara, Hiei, Karama, Team Toguro, which is Toguro Younger, Elder, Bui, Karasu, Dr. Ichigaki, which is Kai, Rin, and Ryu, Toya, and Toya again, and Ratio of Team Ratio, Shishiwaki, the Great Suzuki, Makintaro, and Koromaruda, something like that, and and yeah, the characters that are in Roto and Zero and Chu and Rinku, the worst character from Team Chu. Only characters who appear to be missing are Orihara Hiroshima, something like that. The guy with the fishing rod who accidentally turned Karama into Yoko Karama, and I think Bakken. I don't remember seeing Bakken at any point in this game. Yeah. But those are the only characters I think that are missing. Everybody else who competed in the Dark Tournament is for the most part here. What else about this show? Oh yeah, video game. It has multiple modes. I'm playing normal versus mode, which is titled skirmish. Then you have arcade mode where you select your character and you fight through a tournament ladder of characters like in old traditional fighting games. Then of course they have a training mode, which I always go to practice because one of the biggest problems I have with this game is when it comes to gameplay, the gameplay is stiff. The gameplay is very stiff and unresponsive. Um what else about this game? Gameplay is very stiff and unresponsive. The video game, like I said, it has all of the special moves and combos seen in the video game, and for the most part, while it doesn't capture the violence, it captures the action of of the video game of his video game counterpart. But going back to the mode, since my fight is over, let's go through the modes. I mentioned skirmish mode, which is versus mode. Then you got a survival mode where you select a character and fight and fight in a long endurance tournament on ladder. See how much you can take. Then there's training mode, which I always go to before I play this game because of how stiff and unresponsive the controls are. Then you got a token game for all the cards you unlock in this video game. Then you got the credits. Then you got the option mode to change gameplay. I mentioned arcade mode where you select your character. Traditional mode, you select your character and fight through the tournament ladder. Then of course you got the story mode, which is dark tournament mode. Dark tournament mode. So yeah, that's the entire Yu Yu Hakusho video game. I'm about to play arcade. I'm about to play yeah, I'm about to play arcade mode right now. I'm selecting I'm selecting Kurama and I'm fighting Kurama's first opponent, Roto. Um Actually I'm fighting Kurama first. I meant to select I thought they want. I kept forgetting that when you do arcade mode, they have you choose your boss mode. I just chose Roto. I meant to choose Karasu, but I forgot. I thought they were making you choose the beginning fight. So with that being said, let's get started now. Yeah, my favorite characters to play as are Yusuke, Kurama, Bui, Karasu, Toguro Younger, Jin, Toya, Kai, Rin, and Ryo, Gama, and Roto, Zero, and True are my favorite characters to play as, followed by Roto and Makintaro. I think I said Roto already. And as for fighting, I like fighting everyone. I also like playing as Kuwabara's white Japanese samurai trench coat outfit character, which I'm glad that look is featured in the video game. So yeah, these are my my all-time favorite characters to play as. Wish they would have made. I think they did make a better version, but because Yu Yu Hakusho's popularity went downhill, they never translated into they never translated the video game into English. So that's it for the Yu Yu Hakusho. But I wish they would have made it. Wish they would have remade this game with better controls, visuals, and graphics and everything for the modern day consoles. But by the time modern day consoles came out, Yu Yu Hakusho's popularity had faded. So yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho. So yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament. But like I said, I'm a huge fan of Yu Yu Hakusho, and I love this video game despite its flaws. And it was a pleasure playing this video game again for this review right here. If you don't want to hear the rest of the soundtrack, you don't hear the rest of the theme song. Oh no, I'm not finished yet. And also you hear Roto's voice in the background, which is kind of repetitive, but just like the anime. I like it when she says the violence, the actions, the inability to control herself, something like that. It's hilarious. And of course, it has all of the moves, it has all of the level designs seen from the show, including all of the tournament arenas, the forest arena, Genkai's dojo, and the destroyed tournament setting. So it has all of the arenas seen in the show. So yeah, that's it for Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament. If you don't hear the rest of the music, turn the video off right now.